So, hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Jonnychipz Weekly. My name is John Lunn, aka Jonnychipz, and this is episode number 42 on Friday, the 15th of October, 2021. This is called Autumnal. So yes, hey everybody, and welcome to another Friday lunchtime here in the UK. Hope you've all had a fantastic week and you are looking forward to the weekend. So, usual format again this week, it's episode number 42. Been titled the episode Autumnal purely because the weather is starting to get a bit bitey and the nights are drawing in. It's definitely coming up to that time of year again where we all need to switch the heating on and get a little bit warmer. So anyway, without further ado, let's jump straight on over. We'll go straight to community callouts. Okay, so have fun. For those of you attending the South Coast Summit today, I think it kicks off later tonight, but certainly tomorrow is the main crux of the day. Have fun. It's the first largish in-person conference, I think, of the year that is related to the Azure and the cloud arena. So being held down in Southampton, I know a few community folk have already travelled down, so really, enjoy that. I'm so gutted I can't make it. I did sign up for a ticket. It's my dad's birthday, so I won't be travelling down tomorrow to see the conference. But everybody have a fab time. There's some fantastic speakers, a fantastic schedule going on. Can't wait to see the pictures and those pictures of people that haven't met for 18 months and they're finally saying hello for the first time. It's going to be great to see across socials and of course the content and the things that are going on at the summit are going to be absolutely fantastic as well. So yeah, have fun. That's kicking off tomorrow. On a similar note, we've got Microsoft Ignite coming out. So for those of you that have been under a little bit of a rock, we are virtual again, November the 2nd to the 4th. If you haven't registered, go and register. But they've opened up the schedule builder now as well. So I've started to have a little bit of a flick through. Obviously, because of the UK time, I think it starts, around about 3 o'clock, 3:15 GMT on the Tuesday the 2nd. So we'll have all the keynotes from Satya and all the relevant leadership team over at Microsoft. So, obviously that's going to be fantastic. But then we've got effectively 2 days then over the Wednesday into Thursday. Again, because of the time difference, obviously we start a little bit later here in the UK. But really looking forward to that event. Go and get your backpack filled up with all your sessions and the relevant people that you want to hook into for those few days. And like I say, if you haven't already registered, you need to get on and register. And moving on. Elkin posted this around the Cloud Lunch and Learn. There's an ideathon going on in a few weeks' time. And it's quite an interesting one, actually. So if you browse on over to the cloudlunchlearn.com/ideathon, then basically there's this challenge brief where you've got they set this ideathon up in partnership with lots of students and other people out in Bahrain. To really look at, how do they reduce the pollution in Bahrain, get some ideas together. They've got a little bit of a brief there, the context behind this ideathon. Look, if you want to get involved, like I say, browse on over. It starts in 19 days, 19 and a half days. Go and register, submit your ideas and get involved and kind of get involved in these fantastic kind of community projects because they are always worthwhile. So thanks for shouting that one out, Elcom. And more on the certification news front. So for all you data people out there's Azure Cosmos DB is getting its own specialty developer exam. So it looks as though we're going to be getting this fairly soon. I think it's a DP exam that is coming through. And if we click on Learn More and get ready for the exam, we can see that there was a blog released only yesterday. They'll be looking around about mid-November for this release. So it's DP420, Designing and Implementing Cloud Native Applications using Microsoft Azure Cosmos DB. So that is, I believe, that is going to be a beta exam to begin with, obviously. I'm not sure that there's any news about when that goes live, but certainly, up to now, the data exams have been, centric around SQL. This is cool to see, the broadening of the data horizons from a certification perspective. So if you are interested in that, obviously there's some great resources there. We've got Thomas Mara's study guide there. There's the Microsoft Learning Path and the Learning Collection of modules there. There's a video of the exam from Laurent Bougion. So yeah, go and check that out if you are interested. But that's going to be cool to see. Next, Anthony. Thanks, Anthony, for reminding us that we've got the AZ800 and AZ801 exams. So the Hybrid Administrator Associate for Windows Server coming out fairly soon. So obviously, if you if you are in that kind of IT ops kind of world, you're looking to take that leap or that shift over to cloud services. This is a pair of exams that really is probably suited right down that kind of that alleyway, because for a long time now we've not had that kind of traditional Windows Server exam being released. Now this looks to be that. Well, certainly the AZ800 does, and I believe the AZ801 is covering more around the hybrid functionality, that configuration where you are spanning across on-prem or private cloud into public cloud services. So go and check those two exams out. They are in beta. I believe later on this year they're going to be out in force. But go and check those out. They're certainly on my radar to take a look at. And sticking slightly with the exam theme, George just retweeted this image the other day. If it's not a very good copy on here, it's a Twitter photo. But if you browse down to aka.ms/trained cert poster, in fact, that's what I'll do, aka.ms train cert poster, we get taken to a bit of a nicer copy of it so that we can zoom in. So yeah, if you are looking to become certified in any kind of Microsoft area, you can see that there are effectively 4 common platforms that Microsoft have kind of identified in their features suite, if you like, from Azure 365, Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, and the Power Platform. But then down here, you can see that we've got the security, compliance, and identity that effectively span across the various towers in Microsoft. So you can see by far there's a lot of Azure exams. I'm slowly working my way through those exams. 365, equally, if you are on the 365 side of the fence, then there are a number of exams that you can sit in there, and certainly around Teams and Teams Voice Engineer and Support Engineer. There's a couple of new exams in there that are interesting, and you should take a look at if you need to. And then, of course, if you are on the Dynamics side of the fence, you've got that, and equally for Power Platform. Now, as we all know, lots of the Microsoft ecosystem ties in with each other. So which route you take and how you go is really up to you, because you can dip and choose and make your own meandering path through all of these different roles-based certifications. So yeah, take a look at that. It's a handy little guide if you need to get a little bit of an idea as to where you should be going with your examinations and your certification. Okie dokie, moving on. Yes, big shout out to Freek Burson. Congratulations, Freek. 300 copies of his book, Getting Started with Bicep. I started to make my way through that book. It certainly helped me get off and running with Bicep, and obviously creating those Bicep files to produce my ARM templates for deployment purposes. If you are interested in infrastructure as code and you're looking to get into Bicep, can't recommend this book highly enough. Go and jump on Amazon, give it a quick search, and go and give Freek a shout out for that. So yeah, congratulations, Freek. And yeah, moving on. So Jack Tracy. So I was one of those that hadn't used Jack's Azure subscription migration blog post in the past. So cool to see that actually a lot of good work that Jack had put into that post has been pulled through now into Microsoft Docs area. So if you are in that position where you've got different types of subscriptions that have kind of accumulated over the years, and you're wondering how can you migrate between one and the other, what you can migrate from and to. This article is out, so I mean the URL is the docs.microsoft.com, Azure Cost Management Billing Manage Subscription Transfer. It's under the how-to guides and configure cost management and billing, and then transfer subscriptions. So there's an Azure subscription transfers document article in there that gives you some really great granular detail as to what you can migrate from and to, and any notes associated with that, or any other articles that you should probably take into consideration. So yeah, congratulations, Jack. I mean, some great work that has gone into this, clearly, and to help us all out, to help us all on our cloud journeys, and to move forward with some of these things that we might need to do at some point during our tenure within Azure. So check that out. Yes, Adam Jackson posted this the other day. I'm kind of quite privileged to be involved in this. So yeah, are you ready for a journey into the world of IoT? So join Cliff and Pete to see how Azure can track real-time telemetry from a flight and make sense of it all. So our flight is going to depart on Monday the 15th of November at 10 a.m. and it'll be around about 2.5 hour flight. So yeah, I mean, Cliff and Pete have asked me to be involved in this to kind of help with the presentation of this particular Tech Day session. Be cool for you to sign up and come and say hello. The booking is actually open, so you can go and register for that event now and join in and take part and watch what is being pulled together. So yeah, it's a really cool idea. Really privileged to be part of this, and super looking forward to it. So it's in about a month's time. Go and get registered for that. Go and follow. If you follow me, have a look down my feed. There's a link in my feed, or Pete or Cliff or Adam. Yeah, go and sign up. Be cool to see you there. And yeah, big shout out to Shabazz and Victor, really, for I noticed this the other day. They started off a new blog, a vlog blog, whatever you want to call it, podcast. What's in IT for me? What's in it for me? So yeah, really keen. I've not listened to this episode yet, so I'm going to go and check this out. So it's really cool to see lots of community members put in some great content and great ideas together again. So going to be cool to see what Shabazz and Victor come up with for this podcast. So yeah, thanks guys. Going to check that out. And that's it for today. So let's just flick back over. Yeah, so as always, plenty going on at any point in time. We're not going to hang around here now. I think we're going to go and take a quick look at reminding us what is on in the world of the Welsh Azure user group for the next event. So let's go and take a look. So yes, as I mentioned last week, our next event for the Welsh Azure User Group is on Wednesday, the 20th of October, which is only next week. So you've got plenty of time to RSVP. Go and follow me on Twitter or at Welsh Azure. Go and get the RSVP link, the meetup link. Go and get yourself registered for that event. It is a virtual event. So we've got John Kilmister attending. He's going to be talking about breaking up monolithic websites using Azure services. And then we've got the amazing Derek Smith coming on to talk to us all about Azure V1. So, that's a zero to hero session from nothing to everything. So, two fantastic sessions that are really going to get down into the brass tacks of Azure effectively, particularly around the infrastructure side. So if you are interested, can't recommend these two sessions highly enough. Do come and join us. It'll be a Teams meetup. Go and RSVP on the meetup page. You'll get access to the link for the Teams meeting. Join in, we'll have some fun. There's going to be a competition, a quiz at the end to win yourself some prizes and all that good stuff. So yeah, hope to see you there. Okie dokie, I think what we will do now is we will browse on over to the Azure news. Let's see what's going on in the world of Azure this week. And welcome to the Azure News and Updates for week 42. Yeah, 15th of October. So yeah, let's just jump straight on in. So no roving reporters again this week. I'll see if I can rally a few people up for next week if I can. But yeah, everybody's super busy anyway. But anyway, we'll jump straight on in. Quite a lot of announcements this week, to be fair, in terms of updates around Azure. So let's just rattle through them. The majority, I think, are self-explanatory. But let's just get through them. Let's see what we've got. So generally available, we've got Azure Translator now supports more than 100 languages and dialects. So if you are, kind of bringing any of that translation feature set or APIs, SDKs into any of your applications or services, it's just amazing to see that we've got 100 languages and dialects that we can choose between now. There is a link there. Read the announcement blog that'll give us a link to all the different dialects and languages, but it's just fantastic to see that we've got access to be able to translate into those services. Generally available service tag discovery APIs. So yeah, this is an interesting one. So if you are used to using the service tags for things like Azure firewalls or NSGs within, well, actually, I'm not sure that you can use them against firewalls, but if you're using service tags in Azure, particularly for NSGs to give access or deny access to certain services, geographical services within Azure, things like storage in, UK South and whatever that you like along those lines. So basically that service tag that has that list of Microsoft IPs kind of related to it so that we don't have to remember them or keep changing them all the time. Then what Microsoft have done now is they've produced an API that you can actually build this into your own applications so that you can use the API to discover those service tags and, get grant or deny or block or whatever it is that you need to do permissions to access those service tags or just to get the IP addresses. So cool to see that there is an API. If you are interested, go and check that out. That has gone GA. There's a little bit of an example on how to use it here as well to gain that information into your application. I mean, this is using PowerShell. I'm sure there are other ways. So it's available through REST, PowerShell, and the CLI. So cool to see. Azure Firewall Premium now generally available in 5 new Azure regions. So US Gov and China. It looks like we've got some. They basically made Azure Firewall Premium available in those regions. Okay, we've got Azure Machine Learning announcements, October 2021. Okay, they've got a few announcements there. Have gone into public preview. If you are into Azure Machine Learning, we've got secure compute instance with no public IP. Secure your compute cluster with no public IP, manage Azure machine learning resources using Happy HashiCorp, Terraform, and generate models trained on image data with AutoML for image. So, yeah, pretty cool to see. There's some more links there, so if you are interested, go and check those out. Okay, in preview, Azure Database for a MySQL flexible server, geo-redundant backup and restore is in public preview. Cool. More machine learning announcements, October 21, so generally available capabilities. Again, there's a lot going on with machine learning, so use manage identities with Azure Machine, identity-based data access to storage services on Azure, create Azure machine learning datasets, run parallel, step class, many models, solution, accelerator, and manage environments in Azure Machine Learning Studio. So, yeah, it seems to be a lot of movement in the machine learning space and around Machine Learning Studio at the moment. So if you are in that area, go and check out those announcements. Azure Database for Postgres, Hyperscale, Azure Private Link support is in public preview. Same flexible server, DDSV4 and EDSV4 SKUs have gone into public preview for Postgres. New centralized management experience for Azure Hybrid Benefit for SQL Server has gone into public preview. Okay, interesting stuff. Some Azure SQL updates for October have been announced. Public preview HTTPS proxy configuration support. So AKS now supports specifying HTTPS proxy configurations when you create that AKS cluster and node pool. Cool. So if you are interesting and you need to use those kind of HTTPS proxies, you can do that as a public preview feature. Also public preview, AKS is now supporting Kubernetes 1.22. More AKS support for WebAssembly interface, system interface workloads, so WASI workloads is in public preview. And AKS out of tree cloud provider controller manager. Fair enough. Okay, public preview. if you understand that. Somebody drop me a comment, let me know what that's all about. So with the controller manager moving out of the core Kubernetes code base, the AKS team will be able to release updates outside of the Kubernetes release cadence. So customers will benefit from the AKS team being able to update the cloud controller to respond to the customer requests that are specific the Azure integration of Kubernetes. Okay. Out of tree. Okay. Public preview, IPv6 for Kubernetes. Fair enough. And more public preview. We've got customized Azure static web apps authentication with a serverless function. Okay, interesting stuff. Generally available, IP-based website protection for Azure static web apps. And we've also got in GA Azure Monitor application insights for Azure Spring Cloud. And we have Azure Monitor container insights for Azure Arc-enabled Kubernetes. So that's cool. I mean, if you saw the Welsh user groups talk from Chris Reddington, he did go into talking around, how to run Kubernetes and containers on, a Kubernetes cluster, wherever it may be based using Azure Arc. So go and check that out. Azure Machine Learning now generally available in West US 3. In preview, Azure Maps iOS SDK is now in public preview. And finally, Azure Synapse Analytics pre-purchase plans is now generally available. Okay, that's cool. So, yeah, lots of announcements across the board this week in terms of where they sit in Azure. So hopefully some of those have perked your interest. But for now, thanks for tuning in. Let's get back over to my big face. Okie dokie. So, final section of the show. Let's just get the screen ready for it. But yeah, we're going to jump on over, see what I've been up to this week with a little bit of Jonnychipz on the side. Let's go and check that out. So yeah, mainly for me this week has been work. It's been quite very busy with work as it happens. So, but I've had a few other bits and pieces on the go on the side at the same time. Teaming up with another community member to look at a little bit around Unity, augmented reality, mixed reality kind of development work. So I'm playing around with the Raspberry Pi again, getting my IoT direct methods working. So I've got a bit of a Python script running on my Raspberry Pi that has basically got 5 LEDs, 5 different colors, and I've got 2 direct methods, one LED on, one LED off, that takes a payload that you can say, what colors do you want to turn on using the LED on direct method, list your colors, and it'll send that down to the Raspberry Pi and turn those particular LEDs on, equally with the LED off. Now I've got to get it all glued together, and my good friend Pete Gallagher has sent me through an article around, using another device now that's hooked up to IoT Hub to send a message, recognize when that message has been received by IoT Hub using things like Event Grid, and then trigger an Azure function to actually send that direct method down to the device. So yeah, using a few of the moving parts there in an IoT solution. So been playing with that this week, which has been super fun, lots to do, and of course looking at some of the outputs in readiness for the Tech Days event on the flight into IoT, which I'm super excited to be part of. Looking forward to getting involved with that. But it is Friday, and on a Friday we know that we have our In Conversation With episodes. Firstly, huge thanks to Mike Pfeiffer for being my guest, my awesome guest last week. If you haven't seen that episode, please do jump onto the YouTube channel below. Look in the In Conversation With playlist, and you'll see the episode there with Mike. Such a great guy to have a chat to, some fantastic insights, and just, really great advice if you are looking to kind of, supercharge your tech career, to be honest with you. Some really great ideas and insights from Mike. So go and check that out if you have missed it. But tonight we do have a new guest coming on the show. And tonight it is the time of Antonio Lofiego. It was super fun chatting with Antonio. He works over in the US. He works in machine learning, ML ops, that kind of space. He's a core part of the 100 Days of Cloud community group that I took part in back last year. Super fun chat. He's a great guy. Go and check that out. Usual time, 6:30 BST tonight. please do join. Take part in the chat. It'll be streaming out across all the platforms. So looking forward to that one being released a little bit later this evening. So that's it for Jonnychipz on the Side for this week. So there we have it. Thanks everybody again for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. Huge thanks to all the fantastic community peeps that have, pointed me in a few good directions this week, or released some content, or, you're just being you in the community. Thanks all the same. Like I say, have super fun for those that are heading down to the South Coast Summit tomorrow. Wish I was there. Wish I was there saying hello and checking that out with you, but I won't be, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll leave it there for this week. Thanks all for tuning in, and until next week, I've been John Lunn. Hope to see you soon. Please do drop me a like, a comment, or a subscribe would be great. Other than that, I'll see you all next week. Thanks for now.